Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farbach. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico has held meetings with Vladimir Putin as well as China's President Xi Jinping in Beijing ahead of planned talks with Volodymyr Zelenskyy on Friday. Now, the discussions in China focused on issues ranging from Russian gas imports to China-EU relations, raising questions about Slovakia's role within the EU. Now, to help us analyze all this, we're joined by Juraj Marušiak, political scientist at the Slovak Academy of Sciences. Good to have you on the program. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Let's begin with this meeting. There's this bilateral. You have Fico, really the only EU leader in China for this parade, meeting with Xi Jinping, meeting with Vladimir Putin. First of all, what impact can he seriously have? What does this signal for Slovakia and for EU? What are the takeaways here?
Firstly, Robert Fico was a single prime minister or head of the state from the EU member state, from the EU, present in Beijing. All other states like Hungary, Bulgaria, Italy, and so on, they were present there, but on the lower levels. So Fico pronounced there several statements sharply criticizing European Union. So his visit was perceived in a very negative way has been criticized by domestic opposition. On the other hand, pro-governmental sources, pro-governmental media, coalition political parties expressed it as a big foreign policy success of Slovakia, especially in the context when Slovakia has only now has quite tense relations with some EU member states, and Fico paid only few visits, few meetings with the representatives of European Union. For example, until now he didn't conduct a meeting with German Federal Chancellor Merz since his elections. Also, relations with such neighbors as Poland or Ukraine are quite tense. On the other hand, Fico has developed quite intensive relations with Russian Federation. So this is his third meeting with Vladimir Putin this year.
Right, and I want to ask about those relations. I mean, as you said already, this is something Fico has met Vladimir Putin before more than he has Zelenskyy. In fact, today on Friday will be his first real face-to-face meeting and sit down with Zelenskyy in Ukraine. I mean, Fico has also said he has messages that he's going to be relaying, something that Vladimir Putin has told him. I mean, honestly, what kind of insights will Fico bring to this meeting, and how is Zelenskyy going to interpret that he's met Vladimir Putin before, and what kind of impact will that have?
Mm-hmm. So now Fico said that he has some significant message for Volodymyr Zelenskyy from Putin. However, he didn't say the content of this message. However, it looks like the talks will be held about the energy supplies. Slovakia and partially also Hungary, but mainly Slovakia is one of the main routes of transportation of gas to Ukraine. Slovakia is also supplying Ukraine with the electricity. And Putin is developing pressure to Slovakia and Hungary to cut the supplies of energy to Ukraine because of Ukrainian attacks on oil route pipeline systems of Russian Federation, Druzhba.
Right. And on that note on energy as well, Juraj, I want to ask you, because also Fico has thanked Vladimir Putin for exactly that, for those supplies, for especially if we're looking at Turk Stream as well. Looking also at, he expressed interest, he wants Russian involvement in a nuclear project in Slovakia. He wants to normalize relations with Russia as well. So, I mean, it's rhetoric on the one hand, but how realistic can Fico really achieve these things, given that the EU has a very different approach to this?
Okay, so this is really a very dissenting opinion within the European Union, and until now, this is really new statements, for example, about the construction of nuclear power plants. As until now, it was clear that Russia will not take part in this construction. But for Robert Fico is crucial, and probably he really believes that Slovakia can be a kind of intermediary between European Union and Russia, and that Slovakia will play a crucial role in the normalization of relations between EU and Russia after the end of the war.
Mm-hmm. But how realistic is that? I mean, it's a small country. I mean, yes, there's some kind of, it seems, personal relationship, but how much of an impact can Robert Fico really have here?
I don't think it might have. There could be a significant impact because Russia was always playing with big players. So for Russia, the strategic partners are main trade partners or main military partners, such as France, United Kingdom, Germany, and so on. However, this visit plays also a significant role in the propaganda. For Robert Fico, it was important to overshadow the increasing economic and political problems Slovakia is facing, the enormous deficit of the state budget, and Fico wants to overshadow it by the some spectacular foreign policy steps. On the other hand, for Putin it's important to have some partners within the European Union to show that the EU is not monolithic united actor, and to show this disunion in the European Union. But what I like to stress that probably some kind of dialogue where the intermediary role plays Robert Fico will take place, because there is expected the meeting, the presence of the head of European Council, Antonio Costa, in Košice, where today will take place also the first eye-to-eye meeting between Fico and Zelenskyy, and also Zelenskyy agreed to travel to Košice to meet Robert Fico. So until now, we have really very fragmentary information about the content of this alleged message from Putin.
You also mentioned, I mean, we're talking a lot about Russia. It's also Xi Jinping of China who said that he wants Slovakia and Robert Fico to play what he's quoting here as a positive role for China in the EU. I mean, I'm also thinking, looking at a few months back, we had the EV tariff. Slovakia opposed that, one of the very few countries that did. So again, here, how much leverage does Slovakia have? I mean, even if we look at investment from China, I mean, I think around 30% from China's investment in the EU went to Hungary and not to Slovakia. So is he trying to, as you said earlier, pull in more attention here? Is it going to work?
Yes, I think It was also a big surprise because traditionally main Chinese partner in East Central Europe were such countries as Hungary or in the past also Romania. For Fico, yes, it was one of the main targets to attract also some Chinese investments. On the other hand, Slovakia as an Eurozone member has simply very strict limitations, for example, in the giving of state guarantees to main Chinese infrastructure projects, and just Robert Fico is interested in infrastructure projects from China. So we have only very few Chinese direct investments coming from the private funds.
And also, recently, I want to ask you, because I mean, it was also Slovakia that has suspended not giving out visas to Russian citizens. They're now doing that again. Given how sanctions are working currently across EU member states, what do we take of that? How effective is that going to be? What will Brussels maybe do as a consequence of this? How do you interpret this signal from Fico in Slovakia?
So Fico is carefully studying the practices of all other EU member states. So Slovakia is not the single EU member state issuing certain amounts of tourist visa for Russian citizens. It is doing also doing some countries like France or Germany, but not in a higher extent. So I think Fico is also testing the reactions from Brussels, testing the reactions of his partners from European Union, and wants to act as a kind of neutral actor, but in a recent context, of course, it is the foreign policy course in favor of Russian Federation.
Just very briefly at the end, we're closing in on time here, but I just want to ask, because usually it was also Viktor Orban very much touting himself as the man close to Putin, close to other powers, China as well. Is this kind of a rivalry here between the two of them? How do you interpret that? Just briefly at the end as we close.
So I don't think there is a rivalry, because otherwise there would be also Viktor Orban present in Beijing. So we can see that sometimes they are coordinating their activities. Once is presenting himself as a most pro-Russian actor, Viktor Orban. Sometimes in another cases, Robert Fico. So I think there is rather coordination instead of competition between them.
All right, and we'll see how all this rhetoric and posturing play out. I'm sure it's not the last we've seen of it. Look, we'll close it there. Thank you so much. That was our guest here this morning, Juraj Marušiak. Really appreciate all your insights.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
And thank you for watching World Talks, but there's much more coming up right here on TVP World, so stay tuned. Goodbye.